guys, it's Angie. Last week I had a really great week on eBay. I was so close to reaching my goal of $2,000 grossed for the week. I just missed it. Now if you add in my auction items, I actually made quite a bit more than the 2,000 goal, but I just want to go with strictly what I sold on eBay. So I thought you might be interested in what kinds of things I'm selling this week. So let's get started. Now I just wanted to show you, this is my last week right here. As you can see, I sold 72 items last week, and that is an average of about $27 an item. That's fantastic. So let's get into the highlights of the kind of things that I sold. The first thing I sold was this Quake video game, and obviously when I was taking out the background, I missed a spot right there, but that didn't seem to affect it because it sold right away for $19.95 with free shipping. Another thing I like to sell are wallets. This was an Amy Kestenberg wallet, so it sold for $13.45. Another category I like to sell is vintage lingerie and hosiery. These were just old JCPenney nylons, 4 pair, and they sold for $16.95. I also sold this Nuitag vintage Vanity Fair bra. It sold for $34.95, and I believe it went to Australia. I picked these up and they sold the very next day. I paid $1 for them and they sold for $16.95 plus shipping. I'd like to sell shoes. These Asics were another pair of shoes that I purchased. They had some wear on them, but I disclosed, took lots of pictures, and there was even one little spot on here that I said there was a wear spot, and I showed it right here, and these still sold for $24 plus shipping. Vionics sell really well. Good pictures are essential, so they know exactly what they're getting. Normally for these Vionics they'd go a lot higher, but because of condition I sold them for $24.95. These Danskos look like they hadn't even been worn, and they sold for full price of $34.95 in about 2 days. Thanks to Jeff at eBay Addicts and the Media Marauder, I've been looking for out-of-print DVDs when I go to the bins. This one right here I listed for $14.95 in very good condition. I accidentally listed it before I even put my own pictures on there, so it's like a really blurry stock photo, and by the time I realized, it had already sold like in an hour. It's over $14.95. Books have been doing really well for me, guys. This is a 2015 International Building Code book. I did take a best offer of $80. Happy with that because I only paid 50 cents for this paperback. Then I sold this pharmacology book, also a paperback, and it sold within a few days for $67.45. So books are great. You just gotta, take a few minutes and look them up. Another item that everyone laughed at me when I bought costumes at the beginning of this year, but I've been selling them consistently. This Bo Peep costume just sold for $28, and it was super cute. Another odd thing that sold this week were some Santa pants. Who wears Santa pants in April? Well, obviously somebody, and they sold for $12.95. Normally do not do jewelry, but I actually got these when I bought a QVC palette. The person who bought these actually bought 2 of them, so instead of $19.95, it was a $40 sale, so that's pretty great. Another thing that I love to pick up is plush. This Scooby I had for probably 2 months, but he sold for the asking price of $24.95. I will tell you that plush is not a fast mover typically. Once in a while you'll get lucky and get one that is like super popular right now, but plush usually takes a little bit longer to sell. I also sold this Nintendo Wii babysitting baby. I didn't have this listed for very long. Sold for $14.95 plus shipping. And then I listed this guy and he sold the same day. He's just this cute little Disney Junior lion, and he sold for $10.95 full price plus the shipping, so great deal. Another item that I've been selling a lot, and I don't usually feature on here too much, but I wanted to just point this out this week, is I do like to sell clothes. Clothes are great sellers and you can make a lot of money at it. For instance, I sold this Columbia men's shirt for $16.95 plus shipping, and I'm sure that I paid $1 for it. Then I sometimes pick up vintage items if they're super, super cheap. This Carol Little set, I literally paid 25 cents for the set. It took a while, about 6 months or so to sell, but it did sell for $22.95. Then it is time to be listing spring and summer dresses and those types of clothes, because I sold this dress and this dress and this dress all within the last few days. So dresses for the season are selling. People plan on going places this year, so make sure you get that kind of stuff up. Now I have my 3 good sales of the week. Now, granted, I had lots of good sales of the week, but these are interesting things, something a little bit different that I wanted to share with you. The first item is a BK Precision RF signal generator. Have absolutely no idea what that is. I saw it at a yard sale and I spent way up for me, which was $15. $15? Who spends that kind of money? Never me, that's for sure. So I was a little freaking out, and don't you know, I came home and I banged it up against the side of my desk and broke off a trim piece on the corner. Of course, I spend, more money on this than anything, and I break it. It's actually just a piece of the trim, but I showed it in the pictures, and it sold for $75 plus shipping. I was relieved to make a really good profit on that, especially considering I broke the darn thing, at least the trim piece. So I was really happy that I did pick that up. So the next item that I picked up and sold this week was this cool 1990s vintage Nickelodeon camera. Do you remember that? The shows that where they did slimed you and they splattered you with all this stuff. I guess this is reminiscent of that for some people. I paid 50 cents for this at the bins at most, and someone made me an offer of $55, and I actually contemplated should I really hold out for more? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you paid 50 cents and 3 days later you're selling it for 55. Sell that thing. So I did take a best offer, but I'm really happy that I did. And then the best sale of the week is second week in a row. Goodness, I wish I had these every week. Was another one of these Harvey's seatbelt bags. This was the second one that I had. Last week I had one and I listed it for $220 and it sold in 2 seconds. So this one, I was going to list it at $250. My mom said listed at $300, and I'm like, oh, that seems so like so much money. I listed it for $300, and within 2 minutes, somebody had offered me $250. I countered at $275, and they were so happy. And then I had multiple people messaging me, do you have more? Do you have more? I would love to buy this. I'll pay the $300. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's okay. $275 for something that I paid $2.50 for. It's a really, really neat bag. This one is a print that must have been one of their very originals, same as the last one that I had. But wow, guys, be on the lookout for Harvey seatbelt bags because they sell great. All right, well, that's the highlights for the week. I hope you found something that you might be able to pick up the next time you're out at yard sales or the bins or at thrift stores. So far, being self-employed full-time is working out pretty well for me. Still figuring out the schedule. I didn't realize how difficult it would be to, when you're working from home consistently, to really keep that schedule going, especially since I do YouTube, but it's coming along. You see my sales, they're increasing every week. Now, I don't expect every week to be $1,900. Right now, like I said, I really want at least $1,250 a week, and I've been consistently growing and growing from there. But ideally, the goal is to be building up every single week and trying to increase the sales the best we can. Okay, that's it for today. I'm Angie. Thanks for stopping in. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!